Instead of me buying a razor and a rock crawler and a sand truck, this one kind of just does it all.
Hey guys, so we're here. Today I'm a little nervous. I don't know. I'm kind of intimidated by not knowing crap about these trucks, but I'm actually pretty stoked to be taken on this off-road journey to learn about them. So we're over here at Branden's shop. We got Hunter right here. There he is. So we're gonna check out their trucks right now. Thank you, man, for letting us come down on this beautiful. Yeah, man, we're stoked to be here. Oh man, so these are extremely similar.
They're twins.
So is this like a theme? Is this like some sort of gang?
Honestly, it kind of just happened.
It just happened?
You have to have silver.
Yeah,
you don't have silver, you're not allowed in.
You're not in the crew, you get out.
So, yeah.
It just kind of happened. I mean, he actually got his truck first, and it was silver, and then I ended up getting this truck off one of my customers.
Okay.
And then we ended up buying that one, and it just happened to be silver too. So it kind of, everybody gives us for it all the time, but it's kind of funny at the same time. So.
No, man, it looks good. I mean, honestly, these, yes, they do look super similar, but at the same time, I mean, it looks like you guys do have a four-wheel drive gang.
Yeah.
So, cool, man. So, yeah, take us through it. Who wants to go first? Want to go through, Branden? Cool. Let's check it out, man. So what are we looking at here? What is this beast?
2004 Toyota Tacoma.
2004 Toyota Tacoma. From what's left of it, pretty much, right?
What's left of
Just
it,
the body over here.
Just the body, pretty much. Basically, I got the truck as a completely bone stock truck off one of my customers, and I just started hacking away at the IFS, cut it all up, and cleaned it.
So when you say IFS, you're talking about independent front
suspension, yeah.
Independent
so
front suspension,
and all that stuff. We ended up cutting off and cleaning off the frame.
Right.
And kind of snowballed into what it is now. But we got axles, 1-ton axles off of like a late '90s Chevy 2500.
Okay, so yeah, take us through this front end. How does it happen when you guys are gonna basically remove the independent front suspension? Do you guys literally just go down to the frame?
Basically, yeah. I mean, you're gonna have your bracketry that hangs off the frame to hold, and your tower for the original coil.
Right,
so
right.
You're cutting it all off and just getting it as clean as you could. And after that, you weld on your frame plates like reinforcements, basically.
Right.
We did hoops on this one, set coilovers, bump stops, and kind of just you bump everything out to where you need it to be. The problem on these trucks is, like on a pre-runner, you don't have to worry about so much clearance issues on as far as engine and stuff like that. On these, you have your axle coming straight up at everything.
Okay.
So it's very hard to get that
that up treble and
that up treble that
okay.
you really want, but you can't really get it unless you want your truck sitting really high, which you really don't.
Right, because the higher it is, obviously
easier it is to tip and flip and when you're going over rocks and stuff, you know.
So that's why you see a lot of these things like they're high because the wheels and obviously for the clearance, right? Because this has a ton of clearance, but at the same time, like they need to be wide.
You want it as wide as you can get it, honestly, without being ridiculous.
Right.
When you're going over stuff and articulating through stuff, it's
you
don't want to flip, you know.
Actually, yeah. Lower center of gravity.
Exactly. You want to be able to come up and over things
as
high as you could without feeling like you're gonna go over. You know?
Right.
There's a lot of different obstacles and stuff you got to go through that you got to take high lines on everything.
So when you guys are plating the frames, are there kits for this, or do you guys custom make all of this?
These are actually like a Traeger product. It's just a frame plate. It's made for this truck.
Okay.
So it's a matter of cleaning the frame and then you just
welding it on.
It in, exactly, yeah. Hoops and all that stuff's all custom. I did all that.
I didn't know if there was like a lot of kits that come for these things, kind of like pre-built, ready to go.
There is a couple companies that make them. Like a complete bolt-on kit. Not necessarily for the 1-ton axles though.
Okay.
If you want to go like a Toyota base axle, there's a ton of kits.
Right, but with the 1-ton axle, this is like this is the big boy, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest you're gonna want to get in it. I mean it's breakable, obviously.
Of course.
Anything, but you don't have to worry about breaking it as much. On this front axle, we have 35 spline. Inners. They usually come with 30 outers.
Okay.
And Detroit locker and gears.
How does a 35 spline hold up out there with this stuff? Because like with pre-runners, obviously if you're running like 37s, you want to go like 40 spline and stuff like that. But 35 spline with tires like this, what size tires are these?
These are 40s.
So 40s, right? Yeah. Obviously you guys aren't going at the speeds that some like pre-runners would be going, but how does like the 35 spline make sense for this size tire? Is it because you guys are going at lower speed? Like that's why it works so well?
It's not necessarily a lower speed. I mean the size of the axles originally on these are actually really big.
Okay.
So the 35 spline is your next upgrade, and it's kind of your biggest upgrade you can get for this axle.
For this axle,
they don't make anything bigger than a 35 spline.
Unless you guys went to like a crazy other housing, right?
Exactly.
Which would be ridiculous.
And basically, I mean, you can find this axle in a junkyard off of a Chevy truck. That's what it is, 2500. So for junkyard axle, it's just you kind of can only go so far with it.
Right.
But
it works.
As far as braking, it's very uncommon for them to break.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure you've seen some of the videos, kind of stuff me and a lot of other people push through.
Yeah.
And we're not having really any issues with it.
It's so cool that you guys do have that option of like the junkyard with the 35 spline. I mean, I'm sure it makes things a lot more attainable.
Yeah.
Right? Like for the builders that are going to start doing this stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say it's like totally cheap to do.
Of course.
But it's definitely cheaper than going custom housing, you know?
Right.
With like a 9-inch
Oh yeah, that would be crazy.
drop in, you know? It gets really expensive on there. It's very nice.
Yeah.
But for the price of the axle and how much it is to really build it, it's a very common
Yeah.
option. You know?
Yeah. So what would an axle like this run somebody?
They're kind of getting on the more expensive side because a lot more people are using them.
Mhm.
You can find them usually like $1,500 just for a stock axle.
Okay.
You still got to put gears and lockers and whatever
Okay.
else you're going to do to it, you know, ice your arms.
Very cool. Okay. And then as far as hubs and all that stuff, how does that go with these things?
It's the same thing. I mean, these are just worn hubs. They're just aftermarket hubs.
Okay.
Like on Hunter's over there, he has a Dynatrack. They're a little bit better of a company. There's a lot of different options. It's kind of your preference, what you want. They even make them if you're going full rock crawling and you're never going to be on the street. It's just a slug that goes in there.
Oh, really?
And it's really strong. They design these so that breaks first, so it doesn't break everything else.
Got it.
So that's the first thing that's going to go.
So this is, I mean, you said street, so this is street legal.
To a point.
This is street legal.
It's registered.
Yeah.
And insured, yes.
Hey, exactly
Should I be
right.
on the street? No, I mean, they always get me from mud flaps and...
Oh, really? They do?
Yeah, they hassle you a lot.
It happens, right?
It
Yeah.
happens. A lot of the cops are cool. Some of them pull you over just to check it out.
You were like, hey, dude.
You're sweating and they just like, dude, I just wanted to look at your truck.
Yeah, my shop's right around the corner.
I'm a race car fan,
So you're running the Kings on this? 2.5 coilover?
2.5 coilovers with a 2.0 bump stop.
Okay, 2.0 bump stop, right? What size is that shock?
It's a 12-inch.
12 inch.
Yep.
How does it go with wheel travel on these things, man?
I'm a race car fan, so
Articulation, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, like wheel travel, like the pre-runner guys, they'll have their whatever wheel travel of 20-something inches, something like that. And the rock crawler scene is not really thought out like that.
Okay.
You know? It's more like every 12-inch shock or 14-inch shock, that's how much the droop of your shock is going to come out. You're 14 inches down.
Right.
That's kind of how it's more thought out in the rock crawling scene.
Okay. So like this can really freaking angle out crazy.
Exactly. I'm sure we have pictures that you can put in there, but
Yeah.
it's the back wheel will be crazy down on one side and the front wheel will be up. I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool.
It's awesome.
Different. It's a weird thing to see, especially if you're not used to.
Yeah, yeah.
Even when we were getting into it at first, it's just like, holy crap, you know? Like, we're going up what? You know?
Yeah, right. I can't even imagine like walking up through it, you know,
Yeah.
like climbing it, you
Yeah,
know what I
definitely.
mean?
You're going slow through stuff, but still gives you that adrenaline rush. Like, I hope I make it.
Oh my
You know?
God, I can't even imagine. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty good at the RC rock crawling, you know, so I kind of know what these guys are talking about. I'm just kidding. So tell me about this winch, man. I mean, obviously this is a must-have with what you guys do, right?
Yeah.
This is like standard. Everybody needs one of these things, right?
You need it.
Okay.
Whether it's for you or the buddy in front of you or behind you, you know? Sometimes you just get caught on something and you just can't get out of it for the life of you. So you just hook it up around a rock or whatever it is and you pull yourself out of it.
Okay.
Or you're stuck broken and everything is broken. And
Gotta
that's
get
your way
out.
to get out. And it's happened to us plenty of times. I mean,
Right.
you break something and you're just looking around like... So you wrap it around the farthest rock you can see and just pull until you finally get out of the damn trail. There's been plenty of times that me and him have gone out just no one wanted to go or something.
Yeah.
It's me and him.
Yeah.
We'll go take one truck like an idiot and we'll get stuck somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you get stuck all night.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
just there. You run out of water. You run out of beer. And
Is that true, Hunter? You guys get stuck in the wilderness, bro?
It was Johnson Valley, me and him by ourselves. We go out there and we get stuck on this sand hill with nothing to winch to. We're winching to these random rocks and they were just falling down on us. He broke a rear drive shaft.
Oh, shoot.
And then after that, we actually were just prepared to stay the night.
No way.
We're in the middle of Johnson Valley in this trail, and we were just about to stay the night. And then luckily, it was probably, like 1 o'clock? I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. Somebody drives up. We were lucky enough for them to be cool enough to like, hey, man,
help you guys out.
Help us out.
That was one of our friends, Eric.
That's like the desert kind of brotherhood,
And
huh?
I'll give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Eric at Primo Motorsports. That's how I met that guy, and to this day, he's been my friend.
That's how you guys are friends.
And that's how we became friends.
Because he rescued your asses out
We
there.
were done.
We're stuck out there dying, dude.
You're like, help.
Couldn't get out, and they luckily came up, and they were hesitant. They didn't know who we were, you know.
How far were you guys from camp?
Good
We're
like.
probably get like 10 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, it was far.
I mean, but that's brutal in the desert.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
dude.
and
In the middle of the night. I mean, we were freezing our asses off, you know. It's like,
Dang.
And we still had to go
No water,
over
no
like
food,
a
no beer.
2,000-foot mountain. I mean, it was.
Oh
we
my
were
God.
in there.
That's pretty sketchy. You know, I'd like to hear that. If you guys have any stuck stories, let's see them in the comments, man. Maybe whoever has like the wildest stuck story, we'll send you guys some gear. But maybe you guys could help us do an episode on what to do when you're stuck. You know, like what types of things do you need when you guys are off-roading? Because you never know. You guys just went for a quick run, right?
Yeah,
you guys
we
probably
were.
just didn't expect
it's
to.
always the quick run that you go on, and
You get screwed.
You never say that word.
Right?
Say,
Let's just go check it out real quick,
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah, and that was actually our first trip to Johnson Valley. We used to ride dirt bikes out there.
Yeah.
It was our first time actually like going like 4x4 off-roading. And when we were like, oh, we've seen this trail Sledgehammer. We're like,
Okay.
oh, I've seen that like name somewhere. So we're like, oh, let's do it.
Let's check it out really
can't
quick.
be that hard.
Right?
Yeah,
Real quick.
Real quick. And yeah, I mean,
you
I
know,
think we
dude.
probably started at 11 a.m. and we didn't get back to camp till like 3 a.m. I mean, literally.
Oh my
I mean, it was
God,
late.
bro.
Dude,
I mean,
it was brutal.
Yeah, I mean,
Dang.
That's not the first time that's happened out
Oh, I'm sure, man. Take us through the rest of this thing, man. I see that it's caged. You got these guys right here. Explain
Yeah.
the importance of these.
Rock sliders, I mean, that's your first upgrade you should do if you're planning on doing any kind of rock crawling.
Okay. And our rock sliders, obviously, you can like buy them and all that stuff, but you can
buy a
custom.
built, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
you can make them yourself.
Yeah.
It's just, all it is DOM tubing. So if you have yourself a grinder and a welder, I mean, you'll figure it out, and a bender, obviously, but you'll figure it out.
Right on.
Or you just go buy a set.
Explain to the dudes out there, what's the importance of rock sliders? What's their purpose?
Your purpose of rock sliders, first and foremost,
It's just that,
so
right?
you don't, yeah, exactly. You're sliding off rocks, but so
Yeah.
you don't bang in your rocker panel, honestly. And
Okay.
if you bang in your rocker panel, you're not going to be able to open your door no more. It really
Like someone else we know.
Yeah.
Okay, Lamborghini Mercy.
Somebody else we know. Huh.
But yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
all it is, honestly. When you're coming over stuff or around stuff, you can hit it and you kind of pivot your truck off of it. I mean,
Oh, so you could use it as like a strategy, right?
oh,
to
yeah,
slide around
There's
things.
been countless times you come up, like you need to make a left turn, let's say, and there's a rock right here, ready to nail your door.
Yeah.
I personally do. I don't know if everybody's. You purposely hit it,
Mm-hmm.
and your truck will actually pivot around that rock.
yeah, you look all right. You look.
Good.
You know?
Yeah, that's so cool. It's like a strategy I would never even think
Yeah.
about. There, I'd be like, I don't want to see like
Yeah.
with us.
people
With
don't
us,
get
we're
it,
like
yeah.
avoid all rocks,
Yeah.
like stay away. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. I'll just do a little 360 spin off this guy. Did you guys build these rock sliders?
Actually, I bought these ones. Yeah.
You bought these?
Honestly,
Okay.
Sometimes it's easier to buy it.
Oh
They're
yeah.
not crazy expensive, and you're gonna spend all day just cutting and notching. So on those, I just bought it. But
Right on. No, that's
I-
cool, dude.
Yeah.
Shoot, I mean, I'd much rather do that than have to wait for it to be fabricated and
Yeah,
everything.
no, definitely. They're just welded straight to the frame.
Right.
They're strong. They ain't going nowhere.
That's badass, man. And then I see this big old freaking transfer case right here. You want to go over this with everybody?
Yeah. This is actually Toyota transfer cases out of like an 80s truck.
Okay.
And what you do is basically, it's two transfer cases. You take out one part and you use a front reduction gear, and you're sandwiching them together.
Okay.
And so it gives you just a crazy reduction. I mean, you put it in first gear and double low, that's what it's called.
Wow.
And the truck won't even move. I mean, it barely moves. And so when you're going up stuff, you have a lot of control. It's still moving enough that you can go up stuff, but you're not having to mash on the floor and break axles and break drive lines and other stuff because you got control of your truck.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah.
I know it's simple and old school, but the thing is,
super old school, but
it works.
It works and it's proven. These ones, since I'm running the V6 on it and bigger axles and stuff, they're all built inside.
Okay.
It's all like a 30 spline outer and 28 spline inner input shafts.
Right.
So they're built for what they are.
Okay.
But you don't have to do all that, you know?
Right.
You can run just the Toyota dual case or the transfer cases and the dual case adapter, and you'll be mind blown.
You'll be good to go. For somebody who doesn't know anything about rock crawling, why is it so good to be able to go that slow?
You just have a lot of control of your truck.
When you're going
up,
that slow?
When you're going up something that you don't want to break midway through, or roll, or backflip, or anything, you can just go really slow, and you have a lot of time to think about what you're getting.
Your line, where you're going.
You can you watch your line, and you can say, okay, I want to hit that rock. Instead of being all the way up it,
right.
You just barely crawl up it, and it just goes.
That's the grace that comes with it too, right? Like that's kind of like the dance you guys are doing with the rocks. You guys really are finding those grooves and those ways to get through
your
it.
line, and not every truck will be the same thing. I mean, mine and his are very similar, but there's some stuff that I just really walk right up, and he'll just sitting there not being able to make it, and vice versa. Sometimes you just have your luck and it goes, and then the other time you're just sitting there all day trying to get up the same area.
Right on, man.
It's kind of crazy.
What are the basics back here that we're looking at?
Basics are back here. It's actually, this one's a lot more basic than his. Chevy 63 leaf springs with a 7-inch shackle. I mean, they work really good. I actually bought Devers after riding in his.
Okay.
They're in the back of my other truck, and
nice.
That's gonna happen. I've been waiting for you to come. So
right on. Okay.
Before I start ripping apart my truck again, you know.
Devers, you guys are long travel leaf springs. They're an awesome company. They've been around for years. It's a pre-runner option, obviously. If you guys aren't going to link it, it's a great first step to kind of get into long travel suspension. But so you're going to be throwing those on soon?
Yeah, I got Deaver. What are they? F67s for it.
Okay.
So those will happen with a 12-inch shackle.
Okay, cool.
That's how the other truck's set up. Same thing. But
so you'll be able to run a larger shackle with that.
Yeah. Well, it's just a little bit better of a ride. These have been doing good. I mean, I'm able to go through whoops and enjoy the truck and sand dunes and everything, like I told you. But after his compared to mine, it's like, all right, I need it.
You got to get once you fill that upgrade.
Exactly. I have the shock, I have the bump stop, and I have my sway bar. I have all that money into that stuff. It's time to ship the upgrade and the leaf spring. You know,
utilize the whole thing. Right on, man. Heck yeah. So I see your sway bar right here, the anti-rock.
Yeah, I have an anti-rock on it. Just kind of keep some of the body roll out of the truck when you're rock crawling.
Okay.
You know, because it's a big truck. I mean, for a rock crawler, it's a heavy truck, so it has some body roll.
Okay.
So that kind Yeah, it helped a big time, especially in like sand dunes and stuff when you're kind of coming in sideways. You don't have that crazy body roll. You don't want it, you know?
Right.
So it kind of keeps it planted. That helped tremendously. It helped a lot.
So you guys take these things out to the dunes?
Oh, I do, yeah. Well, we have a lot of dune videos for you, trust me.
Awesome, man. That's cool.
Just fun. I mean,
how do these do out there?
Great.
Yeah.
They do really good, honestly. Like, they're not the best at rock crawling. They're not the best at pre-running. They're not the best as a camping truck, but I can do them all with ease.
And it'll get you everywhere.
And it'll get me everywhere. Like, I mean, there's not very many things that I can point the truck on and it won't do. Yeah. Instead of me buying a razor and a rock crawler and a sand truck and a different truck for every occasion, this one kind of just does it all. Like I said, it's not the best at everything, but it does everything. I mean,
honestly, dude,
what our goal was when we were building it.
This thing is so badass in person. I wish you guys can see it. Maybe we'll get these guys out there with us sometime. It's so cool. Like, I mean, you can see these things driving down the street and, freaking crawling up crazy rocks. So, and then with this rear end, is this the same rear end that you're running in the front or the same rear end that you're running in the front?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Is this the same axle you guys are running in the front?
It's considered a 14 bolt.
Okay.
That's what it is. But I mean, it's off the same truck.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just a 1-ton axle.
1-ton axle.
I mean, if you break that, you're doing something extremely stupid.
Yeah, something really scary.
Really dumb that you shouldn't be doing. The stories from someone breaking a 14 bolt is far and few between.
Right. So they're pretty reliable.
Yeah, no, it's just a huge axle. It's off of a full-size truck. And like on that, we have gears and a Detroit locker in it as well.
Right on.
We just did disc brake conversion on it. And,
awesome, man. What are these guys up here? So what else do you guys have going on back here?
Well, that's actually a compressor.
Okay.
So I have my tank and then it's 2 via compressors. So when we air down for long trips, stuff like that, when we hop back on the road, you hook your air up and you air up your tires.
Okay, cool.
So you go from your 8 PSI in your tire to your 30 and drive all the way home.
Hell yeah.
6 hours.
Makes you more independent out there.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely.
Cool. So then I see how like bumper is basically wrapping around the whole
just a
back
simple,
here.
Yeah, simple tube bumper, just so I don't ruin my rim to the truck, you know?
Yeah, and then you guys built this?
Yeah, I actually built those. The bed usually actually hangs down about here, so I actually cut the bed.
You cut that piece of the bed?
Yeah, I cut the bottom.
We got a
piece of the
good
bed.
side angle
Get
of
a
it.
little more ground clearance.
Oh yeah, dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, otherwise you'd be just hitting on everything, so.
And then so you're running the 2.5 triple bypasses?
Yep.
And what are these, 16s?
Those are 14s actually.
14s? Okay.
Yeah. 14s with a 2.0 bump stop.
Another 2.0 bump stop. Very cool. And then again, as far as travel goes, not too sure because it's kind of a different world, right?
It's kind of a different world, exactly.
But the articulation's out of control.
Oh, it's out of control, yeah. No,
Excellent.
It's nuts. It uses the whole 14 inch of that shock, and if it wanted to, it'll keep going more. The reason we don't run anything bigger, because we can easily run a 16, 18 inch shock. The thing is, we like to use our bed. I mean, we're going camping. And I usually have a tent on here.
Dual purpose. Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a rooftop tent on it. So if I cut through the bed and do a bed cage, which I would love to do, you know, I think it looks nice and it works really good.
Yeah.
But then I kind of lose that.
Yeah, you lose the rest of
truck
it
for what I actually built it for, you know?
Right. We'll head on to the inside. Do you want to go on the driver's side? So let's check this thing out. Super solid roll cage.
Yeah, as tight as I can get it. Like I said, for a while, this was my daily driver truck. And I wasn't trying to be in here just crammed with a crazy roll cage, you know?
Oh, yeah, man. That's cool. No, it looks great. And it's super easy access to hop on in this thing, you know what I mean? But all purposeful, you know? And then these are removable right here?
Those are removable just for the fact, like I said, I used to drive it every day. And me and him, we drive it on really long distance. And sometimes cops gives you shit for that. For having
yeah, the
obstruction of view. So I made it where I can at least take it out. If I get a fix-it ticket, I can take the damn
You're like, there it is. I got it removed.
And there's moved and put it back in when I come home, you know?
Right on.
It's a little bit more of a safer option at least.
Yeah.
But I'm still able to take it out if I need to.
Yeah, well, I love how clean this looks in here, man. I mean, you got like the whole stock dash, the stock carpet, everything.
Yeah, I try to keep it, like I said, as clean as possible. We drive these trucks
to and from,
but we drive them 5-6 hours on like overlander trips, you know?
Okay.
And we're driving to like Bishop and
that's rad.
Mammoth, and you know, we driven to Pismo a few times and around in the dunes.
Yeah,
hours and then just drove home, you know. So
I'm feeling that, man. I want to do that. Like that sounds fun. That's really cool. Yeah, man. Well, I'm definitely gonna be inviting myself, so I'm sorry.
No, definitely invited, dude.
We're gonna hang out with these guys, man. Yeah. Oh, I'll definitely be scared, man. I might even just hop out and watch you guys. Obviously, the motor, the 3.4.
3.4, yeah, it's supercharged.
Okay.
So it's just Magnuson supercharger.
Okay.
And
oh, nice, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, these things are so damn reliable.
oh yeah, dude. People that know the truck, they hear it just literally all day long. Like an idiot, I said on rev limiter, just being
Yeah, because it doesn't. It holds up.
You know.
Beautiful.
And it really does. I mean, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's more than enough for what the truck is capable of.
Right on.
So it scoots. It's fun.
Hell yeah, man. Do you think we could take a look under the hood really quick?
I bought a Magnuson supercharger straight from Magnuson about maybe a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So
how's that thing holding up?
Great, dude. It's actually a really good option. I mean,
heck yeah.
They're not like super crazy expensive, and the amount of power you get out of it's really cool.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun and it sounds wicked. Supercharger, and I have methanol injection. Just because they tend to run lean, and then I have a 7th injector, so that helps out a lot too. But other than that, I mean, it's completely stuck.
Hell yeah, man.
It does good.
And don't touch it, man. Just leave it. Leave it. Such a clean build. So stoked to be able to feature this thing. Cool, man. So tell me about Hunter's rigs.
We had rock crawlers, but then we liked going fast. And so this was kind of the next best option where you get a little bit more power out of it.